Please join me to invoke the name of teacher 3 times. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. The topic I want to talk to you today is generosity. Before I talk to generosity, I give you a few examples so you see the generosity. One example is during the time of Buddha, I have one lady, she's very poor, she's a beggar. She go out, she beg, and she get about 1 cent. And she buy the oil. She offered to Buddha and they put in the lamp. And the lamp burned for forever, never turn off. So people ask Buddha, why the billionaire people, they give money, you buy oil, they have to replace all the time. And this lady, she give only 1 cent to burn it, and it never turn off. Buddha say because her charity, because her good intention. She do it. Even she make very little money, only 1 cent on her earning a day, and she buy the oil to offer to the Buddha to burn the lamp. So you see that it's not the amount of money. Another example I can tell you. It's told by Bill Gates. Bill Gates, he say that he doesn't have habit to carry money. Okay, so one time he go on the street. He want a copy of a newspaper, and he asked the vendor, "I want a copy of newspaper. I have no money. I can carry money." He said, "I just offer to you." The vendor, he's a poor guy. He said, "I offer to you." No, it doesn't mean anything. And the second time it happened again. Bill Gates do it again. He said he never carry cash with him. He's the richest man in the world. He said, "Another copy." So we tell the vendor, he said, "You know who I am?" He said, "I know you. You are the richest man in the world." I said, "What do you want? I can compensate you. Anything you want, I can." He said, "No, nothing. I just offer to you." You see how generous the poor man to the richest man in the world. That's the generosity. It's not the amount of money. One of our member here, Robert here, used to buy bottled water, go to the city, distribute to homeless people. He's very generous. He did it for months, I admire him. And our nun, he admire him. We admire him because his generosity, his time, his money. I asked him why. Because he said a lot of homeless people, they have good water to drink. I care about them. I want them to have good water to drink. That's all. But it's a generosity. It's a good intention. Very good intention. It's not the amount. So, one time, Bodhidharma, the patriarch in China, he's an Indian monk. He went to China and he see the emperor of China there. The emperor, he brags, he said, "I built 72 temples. I print a lot of sutra and I help feeding thousands of monks. How much my merit?" And Bodhidharma, 0. You have no merit. The emperor get very angry. He said, "I do so much. You tell me 0. He said, "It's not your money. It's people's money. You get from the treasury. You have no merit at all. 0 merit." And he left the emperor. Therefore, he felt very frustrated. He said, "I do so much." And he said, "I have zero merit because he didn't do anything. He have no effort, nothing. He get the money from the treasurer and give to build it, and he think it is merit. So you see that a good intention has the action. It's not, the amount of money you give. So think about that. Think about generosity. It's not, you can do everything that you serve the people. That's the generosity. Like the temple, if you see it's a common property, you want to help it to maintain the temple, so to pass to the future generation. That's the generosity. One I remember here, okay? I tell you a joke. Is Leon Brian Quang. He do a lot to the temple, but the only thing is very unfortunate. He's accident prone. He did, and he get accident all the time. Yesterday, he helping us, Master Quang and me do it, and he fell. He hurt his face. We just laughed. This morning I called him. I said, it hurt my pride. I said, in Buddhism, I have no pride, modesty and humility. Okay? You have to be humble and you have to be modest. It's not the pride. You fell down. That your modesty, humility. It's nothing to do with pride. But he is such a nice person. Always do it. One time I remember we trim a lot of tree, and he do it. And he cut it, and he followed one of the branch, he fell down. He break his elbow, go to the hospital, cost over $4,000 for him. But luckily his insurance pay, But it takes a lot of time. That man is so generous. He keep doing. Then she tell me, no, he's accident prone. You should not let him do anything. Nothing. Because one thing that he cut his finger, he cut his leg, his arm, and that is that. And I talked to him this morning. He said, no, it's me. It's not you. It's not the temple. I said, but you're accident prone. So then she tell me to let you do anything. That's for your protection. He said, no, I do it. I keep doing. I said, yeah, but I worry, okay? So that's a generosity, okay? So the thing about generosity is that help people, help something, the common goals, that they're very generous. It's not amount of money or something. The time you give, the service you give, that generosity. That generosity. It's not the money that some people, they thought, go to the temple and bowing to the statue of Buddha, something, Bodhisattva, that's the service. He said, no. Buddha said not. The service to the people, that's practicing Buddhism. You serve it. It's a good, you go to temple, you do it. Because what? The temple is community, the Sangha. We serve more people, we help it. And one monk, he's still alive now, the Chinese monk, his name is Quang. He have one habit, a very good habit. The people give him a lot of money. He said the money go to left hand, go to right hand. What do you mean? He said the left hand accept the money, right hand pay the printer. He print a lot of sutra book, a lot of book in different language. In French, in English, in Chinese, in Vietnamese, all language he give to the people, he free. So he said the money go to my left hand, chant to the right hand pay the printer. It's not for me, it's not for anything. He doesn't have any temple at all. But he just do it to help the people. And his name is Quang. So you read a lot of book, a lot of printing book. It's from him. All free. And he not print one book, he print million book in different language he gave. That is charity. That is so good. So I talked to Master Quang. He said, if you're service, you be a good monk. That's the charity, that's the generosity. How come you tell, I tell all the time, I call Master Quang. The reason is, it's not me, it's the Buddha. Buddha, he called on the Samana, master. Because the French people, they have one word they call noblesse oblige, nobility oblige, okay? When at Quang, when you are a monk, you have to act like a monk, okay? You do like a monk. The duck walk, the duck quack, is a duck. So the monk act like a monk. So that one, it's not a title. He said you're Samana or Samanera, that's the same. Because in the sutra, samanira is equal to samana. There's no difference. There's no difference at all. Like when I taught in school of medicine, I tell all my students, my residents, I tell them, you are doctors. Even your second year, your third year, you are doctors. You have to act like doctors. You have responsibility like a doctor. Because you are the doctor. You treat the patient not because they have a title. Okay? Not you're attending physician, you're a professor, you're chairman, you are a doctor. No. All of you are doctors. So you have to act like a doctor. You have to do your duty. So I told Master Quang said, do it. So that way you be a monk and act like a monk. Okay? And you have to have what to do. That's the service. And I'm very glad. He's very good. He's very industrious and he does that. I tell him sometimes I teach you verbally, but sometimes I'm talk. So look at my action. Sometimes even I do the wrong action, that's a teaching for you. You look at my wrong action, you think about that, you said that's wrong. Okay? And then you correct it yourself, you do it. Okay? That's the teaching for you. That way you will know what to do. In the future, you are the teacher yourself. You guide the future generation of monk and nun. So you help generation and generation. And this temple stay after you die. He's only 31. But when you're 90, 100 years old, it passed to another generation. You do it. So think about generosity. It's not the amount you give. It's the quality of that. The things you give, the donation you give, the quality. And generosity is very good. The people, they're generous, they're happy. They're happy and they give it. They don't have attachment. Because some people, they're too attachment for their possession. And they're very, very unhappy. You see, the billionaire now, they want to be trillionaire. Now they don't billion anymore. They want to be trillionaire. And many of them, they reach that level, trillionaire. But what it means? That means nothing. You see, the guy who owns Amazon, is he happy? No, he's not happy. Because he wants to have more and more and more. He have a girlfriend now, the leaks out, and all the things that leaks out, and he's not happy. And he divorced his wife, he have to give her how many million. He's rich. I think he passed Bill Gates now. He become the richest man now. He passed Bill Gates now. But doesn't mean anything. He always worry. He want to have more and more and more. How much will be the limit? There's no limit. Because they want to be trillionaire. After trillionaire, they go another step higher than trillionaire. And what they do? When they die, can they carry that money with them? And then get sick, then die, everything. The guy from Saudi Arabia, the prince, he's a trillionaire. But he always worry. He's not happy at all. So think about that. Think about the quality of the generosity. That's the one you learn. And the good intention, look about the Eightfold Path. The good intention is extremely important. You do something with good intention. You're generous with good intention. So I hope that all of us, we think about that. And we think about humility and modesty, not to brag about what we give. You give it. Don't worry about the vendor of the newspaper give to Bill Gates. He don't worry about, few dollars. Maybe he sell one copy of newspaper. He make about 1 or 2 cents, not that much. So, and he gave a copy to the rich man in the world. He lost money. But doesn't matter to him. It's so noble. And Bill Gates, he see it. And even though Bill Gates want to compensate, he refused it. He said no, he don't want it. So everything we learn from Buddhism, we need to reflect on that. to reflect about the teaching of our teacher, Sakyamuni Buddha. Everything he teaches, he did it. He's not do empty talk. You listen to you research on his life, on his action. Everything he teaches, he did it. And on the precept too, like I told before, some people think, oh, Buddha, he make the precept and make us follow. No. When the monk make the mistake, he doesn't judge it. He don't know judgment. He get all the whole group, only disciple. They study the case. They study the mistake. They analyze it. He said, what kind of mistake? That individual do it. And they find the solution. After they find solution, they vote on that. And then the consensus, and then it become a precept. Buddha never say that I'm the highest one. I tell you what to do. No. It's the first parliamentary system. Buddha said. Everything have come from everybody, the consensus. And we have the precept today. And you say this one, the precept can change too. Up to the locality, the nation, the area, the time too. You can change it, adapt it. So Buddhism very adaptable. Buddhism from the time in Nepal is different. Go to India is different, and go to China is different. Go to Tibet is different. Go to Vietnam different. Go to Western country different. So now we have a WBO, Western Buddhist Association Organization. It's different. It adapted the country. It's alive. It's very active, and it's adaptable. It's very nice. The only thing, what about Buddhism? That's a liberation. Liberation from attachment. That's the goal of Buddhism. We practice Buddhism. We liberate ourselves from attachment. Become very free. Completely free. And we are happy. That's the goal of Buddhism. Make you happy. Make you free. Completely free. You're not attached to anything. If you attach, you're not free. You still, get something that tie you. Until you free yourself from attachment, you are completely free. You're a happy person. So get that in mind, okay? That free yourself from attachment. Any kind of attachment, you're not free. And Buddhism is a service. Service to other people. So think about that. It's not for yourself. If you think you practice Buddhism because that way I have a more merit, I have benediction, I have the blessing. No, you don't have that. Some people thought, I bow to Buddha, I get the blessing. No, Buddha doesn't bless you. You bless yourself. You do everything yourself because you free yourself, you bless yourself. So don't pray to Buddha, Bodhisattva, bless me so I can pass my exam, I make more money and happy in my life. No, happy or not, you make yourself happy. Unhappy makes yourself unhappy. Nobody makes you, even your spouse cannot make you happy. You make your spouse happy, then you're happy. The reciprocity. And you treat the people, and you don't have it. But said, no, my spouse make me happy. If you make her or him unhappy, how you can be happy? Impossible. Your family the same thing. Your children the same thing. You make them happy, they won't give you happiness back. It's a mutual treatment. And you see, and another thing in Buddhism, you see, everybody have a Buddha nature. So the little child, you respect that child like you respect an adult. Because the little child, the newborn baby, have a Buddha nature too. So he or she deserves the respect. We have a responsibility to bring them to the world. We have a responsibility to help them to grow up, to be mature. But they are equal to us. So if you see that, you respect that young people. The same treatment, they have no sex discrimination either. The male or female, they're all equal. We have the same quality, the Buddha nature. If you see that, you treat everybody the same. The black person, the brown person, the white person, they're the same Buddha nature. If you see that, you don't discriminate. Have no discrimination. So that's the beauty of Buddhism. If you think about that, you will benefit from the study of Buddhism. Study to benefit yourself, benefit the other people. Always think about the transfer the merit. When you have a merit, then keep the merit for yourself. You transfer to your people and you go exponential. The merit you have, you transfer to other people, you have more merit. But you keep for yourself, the merit go down. For example, you have the money, okay? You keep the money, you save $1 million, you spend it, it go away. But you put in the bank use money as capital, they invest it, and that capital help the other people to produce it. You make some benefit from interest of that, but then repeat the other people. It lasts longer. But if you keep the money, you put under the mattress, under the pillow, the inflation eat up the power of purchasing. So you lose money. But some people, they didn't see it. They didn't see it. So they hoard the money. The same thing. The merit is the same thing. So invest it by transferring to other people. The merit get bigger and bigger. So do good, do the good deed. It's a good investment. That's the good generosity. That's my talk today about generosity. I hope that all of us, we have a good intention to be generous and do it the right way. And we chant the Buddhist, the medicine Buddha. We know now you have the pandemic, the coronavirus, now it's spread all over the world now. The first case of death outside of China now, one case in Philippines. They just have one case in Philippines, and maybe we have a few deaths outside of China very soon. In China, they have about 380 deaths already. They have the many thousand cases around in China, in Wuhan. But in the other country, in the US, I think we have about 8 cases already. And we don't have no death yet. But one death in the Philippines. Now, this morning I read it. One death in the Philippines. So it's worrisome, okay? It can be a pandemic all over the world. Like you remember one of the flu epidemic in Europe before, killed million people. So hopefully that, because we don't have a generator yet, they have one study, one article, right? In China, people give a lot of money. Instead of buying the supply for the people, no. You go in the pocket of somebody. They have, they need the mask. They have no mask. Because people pocket the money. They have a many million, they pocket it. So everybody send the mask for people. Everybody needs about 5 masks a day. Now they said they're lucky they have 1 mask. 1 mask means nothing. You cannot change it. And they say now it's not only respiratory, fecal road too. The stool can spread it. So the hygiene. That means before that, they need gloves. They need soap. They need many things besides the mask. But they didn't spend the money. They spend the money for war, to prepare the war, to that. They didn't spend money to protect people. Every country, they didn't do it. They spend ton of money in weapon and everything, rocket or something. But to buy the mask, the soap, the glove, no, it's not a priority. So how they can stop it? Very difficult. Like even in China not a poor country. They can spend billion dollars just to buy masks, 5 masks for people, and then sanitary, and then gloves. Now they don't spend it. You see, that's not a generosity. That's a misplaced generosity. They still take advantage of that. So maybe we chant the medicine Buddha. You see, Buddha always think about that, take care of people physically, emotionally and spiritually, so the people can be healthy. So we keep chanting the month of January, the medicine Buddha. Maybe people, they realize that they have a good place, generosity. Help now every country to get the gloves, to get the mask. That's the only way. And the quarantine do nothing. You quarantine the people. It makes and you stop on the transport on the it hurt the economy. They said it lost $1 billion already. It didn't do anything. They lost that instead of buying more gloves and buying more masks and sanitation for the people. Maybe we can stop the spread of the coronavirus. We do nothing. It spread, it go. You quarantine the people, but they spread among themselves, their community, and kill people. We cannot contain it. Only we can contain it with generosity. It's my talk today about generosity. If you have any question, I will answer your question. If you have no question, we transfer the merit and we go chanting. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Any positive karmic action we accomplish today, you want to transfer it within, wish them the enlightenment. We continue the second part of the Medicine Buddha. This is a long sutra. The last time, the first part, now we go to the second part. I didn't hear you, what?
Oh, he was helping me out with it. You stopped halfway through. Yeah. Yes, sir.
We do the first part first before we go to the second part. We still go to the first part, the introduction, and then we go to continue the second part. Inviting the bell. Bodhi speech and my imperfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May the hearer awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Listen, listen, this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. Incense offering. In gratitude, we offer this incense to all Buddha and Bodhisattva throughout space and time. May it be fragrant as of herself, reflecting our understanding slowly ripening. May we and all be companion of Buddha and Bodhisattvas. We awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home. Opening verse. The incense in the censer now is burning. All the Dharma realm in every place. Auspicious love appearing. Our sincere attention thus fulfilling. And all Buddhas now show their perfect body. Homage to the incense canopy, Bodhisattva and great Bodhisattvas. Verses for bowing. Homage to the eternally abiding Buddha, the supreme Dharma and sagely Shanta, throughout the Dharma realm and the realm of empty faith and free period of time. Homage to the fundamental teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha, Maitreya, honored future Buddha, Manjushri, wisdom Bodhisattva, universal great conduct Bodhisattva, Om Dharma guiding Deva Bodhisattva, and the magic mountain assembly of Buddha and Bodhisattva. Homage to Amitabha Buddha in the land of compassion Bodhisattva, restraint Bodhisattva, earth great Bodhisattva, and the assembly of great Sila Bodhisattva. Please sit down. Now we go to the second part. After he had thought
it's